Hey everybody, happy Dr. Seuss week. Did you know that? Did you know that today is Dr. Seuss's birthday? March 2nd is every year we celebrate Dr. Seuss's birthday. He is, I think, like 116, 117. I can't remember exactly. I know he's well over 100 years old. I don't have the exact year. So if you find it out, come tell me, okay? And I will give you a treat. Anyway, that's not what I'm here for. But I do hope that you maybe were able to dress up today and just be excited. And Dr. Seuss is just one of our famous authors, and he has written so many children's books, and they have been loved by countless generations, and they are continued to be used and loved, and we just honor him, and it's just the way that we celebrate reading and we celebrate his birthday. Okay, but I'm actually here about vocabulary word. So we are going to learn a new word this week, and this is the week of March 1st through the 5th, and this is for grades 3 and 4. And as I was looking for a vocabulary picture to share with you, it kind of dawned on me. I said, I bet these boys and girls have heard this word, and you probably heard it a lot this past year. And whenever I tell you, you're going to say, oh yeah, I hear that on the TV like all the time. And I hear my mom say that, or I hear my dad say that, or I hear it on the news, or I might have heard my teacher say it. So let me go ahead and tell you what the word is, okay? Are you waiting? Okay. You think you can wait a little bit longer? No, we got to get started. All right. The word is essential. Essential, okay? It has 3 syllables. I is actually, instead of E, it's essential. Essential. So that E at the beginning actually has an I sound, okay? Like I said, 3 syllables, essential. And it is an adjective. And like I said, you may have heard that before. So this year, since we've had the pandemic and since we've had the COVID, throughout our lives and throughout, all of America, and we've been having to deal with that, you may have heard some people talk about essential workers and essential people. So let's go into a little bit more detail about exactly what does that mean. And maybe you were listening to the television and you heard them say, the nurses and doctors are our essential workers. They are the frontline people, and we need them every single day. We could not make it through this pandemic without them. Maybe that's what you heard on the news. So let's find out exactly what does essential mean, okay? The dictionary definition, or it's actually Merriam-Webster.com that I used for this definition, is extremely important or necessary. That's one definition. Something that is basic or necessary. So I gave you 2 different definitions because a lot of times they'll give me more than one entry. That's what they're called. In the book, they're called an entry. This is an entry. This is another entry. And that means those are kind of like different answers. Miss Bird's definition, just to break it down, make it as simple as possible, very much needed and important. Okay? So let's talk about some synonyms of essential. First one, necessary. That actually is part of the definition. Needed, required. I'm a little borderline on thinking that that's a good synonym because required means that it is absolutely, mandatory that you do it. It is, you don't have a choice. It is required. It is required that you come to school. It is required that it is the law, okay? So that is like a law, like a rule when we think about required. So, but that was listed, okay? So I don't like that one quite as well. Fundamental means basic. Fundamental means basic. And crucial. Crucial is another word, a really good word, means very, very important. Some antonyms. Non-essential, okay? And non, as we know, is the prefix that means what? Not. Optional. So if something is optional, that means you don't have to choose it. Unnecessary, easy peasy. Okay, anytime you want to make a word an opposite, see if you can put the prefix un on the beginning of it, and there you go. So we have necessary, unnecessary. Those are, opposites. Needless. Needless, same thing. LESS means without. What would that mean? Without need. That means I don't need it. I'm without needing it. So if I have something that's needed and then needless, those are what? Those are opposites from each other. So the reason I do synonyms and antonyms is because you may recognize one of these words, and if you know this word, then that helps you to learn the new word. And in all honesty, when Miss Bird, I'm doing the research and I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain it, and I'm trying to figure out the best choice of definition to share with you, I go and look at the synonyms and antonyms. There are actually words that are listed. They'll say words that are related to this word. And I will look at that list. So I do take this very seriously about sharing this information with you, and I want to share it properly, and I want to share it in the correct way. So I don't just come up with these, by myself, okay? Definitely not. So we talked about the definition. So essential is our word again. So let's see if you mean this kind of might ring a bell. Ring a bell means it's an expression that means that you might recognize it. You may have heard it before. There's the word. Thank you to all essential workers. So my sentence, essential workers provide people with important basic needs like food, health care, protection, and I think I left off a word. I forgot, and I was going to say safety. Okay, so let's talk about these essential workers. And here's another picture that I found, and it says, thank you, essential workers. And it was actually, you could click on this and find some coloring pages. And I did print off a coloring page, and if you would like one, I will get you one, okay? So that you understand the word essential. This is not the coloring page. I like this one because it had it was just a little bit smaller picture. But let's talk about some essential workers. These are workers that we need. They are necessary. They are important, okay? Firemen, farmers, teachers, doctors, nurses, policemen, mail carriers. Now, I did not list all of them. I listed some that were like in this picture, and I'm going to show you this picture because this is in color, and we can look at it a little bit easier. This picture right here looks like this is someone that's providing food. So why would they be considered essential? We need food, right? We need our farmers. We need our grocery store operators. We need those grocery stores operating. Those are considered essential people. All right, next picture, or those first two. Next one is teachers. Teachers actually, I think, were not on the essential list to begin with, and that's one of the reasons we stayed home. But as we found out, teachers are essential. We need teachers to help students. We need teachers to, help our students learn and grow and be there for our students. So teachers, definitely essential to the welfare and the important growth of mind and body of boys and girls, right? Policemen. Why do we need them? Why do we need them? They protect us. They keep us safe, right? Anybody that's in law enforcement, and I just said policemen, but we know that there's so many others in that category. This is like a construction worker, and they also maybe like a Department of Transportation or something other. They may help us to, they're also to keep us safe. These are what? This is like a nurse or a doctor. Those are essential. Why? They help keep us safe. Keep us healthy, keep us alive, right? I think this is construction worker because I think this is he's got on a hard hat, and I think this guy over here, he might have been some like security officer or something other, but he's got on like a neon vest, so I know that he might he might work outside. What's this? Fireman, and that's a mail carrier. Firemen also keep us safe, right? Protect us from damage to our homes. Sometimes they might, also take care of other tasks that, they're called upon to do. Mail carriers, they deliver our mail. There's important things that come through the mail. Some people don't have computers. They, talk to each other through the mail service, Okay, they send things still through the mail service. So those are essential workers. Essential, again, is needed, necessary. They are crucial. They mean they give us our basic needs. They provide us with, basically, when you think about the word essential, that means that they provide you with food, water, shelter, protection. Those are things that we have to have in order to what? In order to live and survive and maintain our lifestyle that we are, grown accustomed to. So now, I'm sure there's other on the list that I may have left off. So, if I did, I'm sorry, but these are some that, like I said, are kind of like the main ones that we think of and that, we see a lot about. You will continue to hear about essential workers sometimes on the news, and you will hear about, the frontline workers. Those people are the ones that are there in the middle of the pandemic and are taking care of us like on a daily basis, like the doctors and the nurses and things like that. So, now we've talked about essential workers. What are some other things that might be essential? Well, it is essential that you come to school every day. It is very important, right? It is crucial to you getting your education. And so that's another way of using essential. You might say that it is essential that plants have sunlight and water and soil to grow. That is essential for them in order for them to grow and to flourish. So essential means that we have to have it. It is needed. It is necessary. It is fundamental. And fundamental means it's basic. You got to have it. So basic needs, again, I mentioned it already. Food, water, clothing, shelter. Okay, and that shelter goes into protection, right? So it is essential for a tiny baby to have an adult caring for him or her. Tiny babies, they can't live on their own. Tiny animal, right? They have their mama. And so whenever they're in the wild and maybe something happened to their mama, then sometimes people have to step in and they need their essential needs met. They need their basic needs met. They can't live by themselves. They have to have food. They have to have water and nourishment. So it is essential that we, have certain things. Okay? All right. Again, like I said, I have a coloring page. It says, "Thank you, essential workers. We're all in this together." And this was actually, kind of like at the beginning of the pandemic. It says, "Stay home and keep us safe." And there's some people and there's some schools and there's some places all around the country that they're still staying home. We are lucky enough that we live in this state and that our schools and all that opened up. So we have, been able to come to school and learn, in person. But if you'd like a copy of this, let me know. Once again, come and see me. Come and see Miss Dorothy. Let me know what essential means. Tell me the use in a sentence. I would love, love, love if you all would make me a word window, okay? You can use any of the vocabulary words that we've done so far. You can look out there in the vocabulary bulletin board that's right outside the media center. You may get ideas. I've got pictures out there. It cannot be exactly like mine. You cannot use the same sentence as mine, but you can use mine as a guide and as a reference, okay? All right, guys. I hope you have an extraordinary week, and tell your teacher that she's essential. She's very, very important to you. Okay? Talk to you later.